Maya Carter's hands trembled as she fumbled with her keys in the dim parking lot behind Hollis Grill. The night air bit at her skin, carrying the smell of grease and garbage from the dumpsters that lined the alley. Her feet screamed in protest after another double shift, the kind that left bruises on her heels and made every step feel like walking on broken glass. She was 27 years old and felt 60. The crying started just as she reached her car. At first, she thought it was a cat. The sound was high and desperate, echoing off the brick walls of the closed pharmacy across the street. Maya paused, key halfway to the lock, and listened. No, not a cat. A child. Please, no, she whispered to herself, pressing her forehead against the cold metal of her car door. She had $40 left until Friday. Her electricity bill was overdue. The last thing she needed was to get involved in someone else's crisis. But the crying continued, broken and terrified, and Maya felt something inside her chest crack open. She found him tucked between a dumpster and a stack of collapsed cardboard boxes, small and shaking in the darkness. He couldn't have been older than 6, with black hair that fell into his eyes and a toy car clutched so tightly in his hands that his knuckles had gone white. When her shadow fell across him, he flinched violently, pressing himself harder against the wall. "Hey," Maya said softly, crouching down to his level. Her knees protested. "Hey, sweetheart, are you okay?" The boy stared at her with eyes too old for his face. "Don't call them," he said. His voice was hoarse from crying. "Please don't call them." "Call who?" "The police. They'll take me back, and he'll be angry again." Maya's stomach tightened. She recognized that fear. She'd worn it herself once, a lifetime ago. "I'm not calling anyone yet," she said. "But you can't stay here. It's not safe. Where are your parents?" "My mom is gone." The words came out flat, practiced. "My dad doesn't know I left." "What's your name?" "Eli." He looked down at the toy car in his hands. "Eli Kwan." The name meant nothing to Maya. She glanced around the empty alley, weighing her options. Every instinct screamed at her to walk away, to call social services and let them handle it. But Eli was looking at her now, with something like hope, breaking through his terror, and Maya knew she was already lost. "Are you hungry?" she asked. Eli nodded. "Come on then. There's a diner 2 blocks from here. We'll get you something to eat and figure this out." The boy hesitated for a long moment before slowly uncurling himself from his hiding place. He was wearing expensive clothes, Maya noticed. Dark jeans without a single worn spot, sneakers that probably cost more than her rent. But they were dirty now, streaked with grime from the alley. They walked to the 24-hour diner in silence. Eli kept his distance, always staying just out of reach, like a stray dog that wanted food, but didn't trust hands. Maya ordered him pancakes and scrambled eggs, and watched him devour them with the single-minded focus of genuine hunger. "When did you last eat?" she asked. "Breakfast. Mrs. Chen made oatmeal, but I didn't like it. So I only had a little." "Who's Mrs. Chen?" "She cooks for us, and cleans. She's nice, but she's scared of my dad." Maya wrapped her hands around her coffee mug, feeling the warmth seep into her cold fingers. "Why did you run away, Eli?" The boy's fork paused halfway to his mouth. For a moment, she thought he wouldn't answer. Then quietly, "I heard him yelling on the phone, about getting rid of problems, about making sure no one found out. And I got scared because sometimes, when people are problems, they disappear." The hair on the back of Maya's neck stood up. "Your dad said that?" "He says lots of things. He doesn't know I listen." Eli put down his fork and looked at her directly. "Will you take me back to the police?" "I don't know yet," Maya said honestly. "But I won't leave you alone. That's a promise." The decision to take him home was insane. Maya knew it even as she buckled him into the passenger seat of her ancient Honda Civic, even as she drove through the empty streets toward her cramped studio apartment in the cheapest part of Riverside City. She should have called someone, anyone. But Eli's terror at the mention of police had been too real, and Maya had learned long ago that sometimes the systems meant to protect children failed spectacularly. Her apartment was a single room with a kitchenette, a bathroom barely big enough to turn around in, and a mattress on the floor that she'd bought used 3 years ago. Eli looked around with wide eyes, taking in the water stains on the ceiling and the space heater in the corner that only worked on its highest setting. "You can sleep on the bed," Maya said, pulling out the spare blanket from her closet. "I'll take the floor." "You don't have to do that." "I'm not letting a 6-year-old sleep on the floor." "I'm almost 7. Eli sat down on the edge of the mattress, still clutching his toy car. "My birthday is in 23 days. Maya smiled despite herself. "Almost 7 then. Do you want to tell me about your house, so I can take you back in the morning?" The boy's face shuddered. "It's big, really big, with gates and guards." "Guards? Men with guns. They walk around at night. Dad says they keep us safe, but I think they keep us in." Maya's unease deepened into genuine fear. What kind of family had armed guards? "What does your dad do, Eli?" "Business." The word came out automatic, rehearsed. "He does business with important people. He's always in meetings or on the phone. He gets angry a lot since Mom died." "I'm sorry about your mom." Eli shrugged, but his eyes were bright with unshed tears. "She was nice. She used to read to me every night. Now nobody does." Maya sat down beside him on the mattress, keeping a respectful distance. "What's your favorite story?" "Where the wild things are." "I loved that one when I was your age." They talked for another hour, Maya slowly drawing out details about Eli's life in careful increments. A mansion in North Crest Heights, a father who worked late and came home smelling like cigarettes and anger, a mother who had died in a car accident 8 months ago, tutors and drivers and housekeepers, but no friends, no birthday parties, no normal childhood at all. When Eli finally fell asleep, still holding his toy car, Maya sat by the window and stared out at the city lights. She didn't know who his father was. If she had, she might have run. The morning came too quickly. Maya woke to find Eli already awake, sitting cross-legged on the mattress and watching her with those 2 old eyes. "Are you taking me home now?" he asked. "If you show me where it is." "Okay." He climbed off the bed and walked to her kitchenette, where he'd apparently helped himself to a box of cereal. "Can we go the long way? I want to see the park." They drove through Riverside City as the sun climbed higher, Eli pressing his face against the window and calling out landmarks. The park, where his mother used to take him. The library she'd loved. The ice cream shop they'd visited every Sunday before the accident. "Turn here," he said suddenly, as they approached the eastern edge of the city. "North Crest Heights is up that hill." Maya's stomach dropped. North Crest Heights wasn't just expensive, it was fortress territory, where tech moguls and old money lived behind walls and security systems that cost more than most people earned in a year. She'd never been inside the gates. The entrance was guarded by 2 men in dark suits. They stiffened as Maya's car approached, hands moving to their hips in a gesture that made her blood run cold. One of them stepped forward, palm